Well guys, day one in Greece, and we're already thinking we may not want to leave.
So we're at Valtos Beach, and this isn't where we originally intended to come because we went to the first campsite and I didn't really like the facilities and our position and everything. So we moved on to one that Nigel had previously picked and I'd ruled out, and we're just discovering more and more good things here.
I think the main reason why we didn't particularly like the other campsite, we don't mind shabby, but it was shabby under construction. And there were just a few things that were going against it. Our position, as Nicola says, didn't look like a lot of the facilities were open. Definitely the restaurant and bar wasn't open. There wasn't anything else around.
Bad Wi-Fi signal. Well, there wasn't a Wi-Fi signal and hardly any 4G.
And lots of noisy kids. But as Nicola said, the place that we've come to is a little haven.
Now, we've originally said we're staying 2 nights, but I keep extending already. We're going to stay another one, and maybe we'll stay another one after that. We'll see how we get on. I've forgotten the colour of the sea in Greece. Wow.
Less than 24 hours into our Greece adventures, and it's going to be very difficult to leave this place.
The only really tough thing's going to be how we're not going to be on holiday 7 days of the week.
We have already promised ourselves that if we want to enjoy fruits of the Greek holiday style, we have to put in the effort Monday to Friday. So we are really going to try Monday to Friday. It's a fitness, it's eating healthy, it's no coffees out, no drinks out, no meals out, and then reward ourselves Saturday, Sunday.
But you've seen how bad our willpower is, so let's wait and see if we can stick to that.
As I was saying that, I could hear several people in there just absolutely hammering themselves with laughter.
It's so easy to see that you're in love with me. Carve your name next to mine on that big oak tree. That's how you want it.
Yeah, this is right up Nicholas Street. So this is, as we said, the Valtos area. So is this Valtos Castle? Take a wander up here and see what there is to see.
Front door. I've lost count of the times this.
Oh, really nice views up here of the village by the looks of things. Oh, guys. Oh my Lord.
I do the same for you, just like I'm supposed to do. I'm yours.
Yeah, we are staying around here somewhere. So there's always 2 ways you can figure out where you are. The flag and the views.
That's fine.
Oh my giddy aunt.
In bed. Strawberry jam on some.
I may never leave.
You're probably going to hear us say that a lot over the next couple of weeks in our vlogs. We have been on Greek holidays before, and we must have mentioned this 3 or 4 times to ourselves. We've completely forgotten the colour of the water that you get in Greece. It is just stunning. And this is going to be a real kick up the backside for me to start using that damn drone again.
If you're ever feeling blue, rest assured I've been there too. We just pick up where we left off, then we toe the line. That's fine.
It's actually Easter next weekend, and you can see they're starting to get everything ready, so I think that's when the main season starts. So it'd be nice that things will be open, but I kind of wish we'd managed to get here a few weeks earlier and had all this to ourselves, because I think in the peace and quiet, it's just even more amazing.
And of course, it means school holidays, and with school holidays, noisy kids.
So I think that's when there's so many shops. Never expected it.
Yeah, so this is the little resort of Parga, P-A-R-G-A, which is beside Valtos Beach, which is where we're staying, and obviously come down into the castle. Lots of places are open, and it once again just feels, walking down those little tiny streets with all the little sort of trinket shops. Oh my God, it feels like we're on holiday.
Thank goodness it's Sunday.
Did she just walk by fridge magnets without checking them out?
Well, I'm not sure, depending on how long we stay, whether I will purchase one or not.
Yeah, that's always a sign as to how much we've enjoyed a place.
Yeah, I only ever buy them if I've really enjoyed being somewhere.
I can smell garlic. Oh, my life is complete. Well, good morning, guys. So, haven't recorded for the last couple of days. Just been chilling out, went down into the little village last night, did a little bit of photography. Really, really beautiful. I did sort of plot as a little route to come up and see an old monastery. But two things. One, it's in complete disrepair. And two, it took us about 10 minutes to get here. So,
And now we're not even sure this is a path to go anywhere else, but we're going to keep going.
I think it goes along the coast a little bit. But we'll go along for a bit. I'll tell you what though. It is 10 o'clock in the morning. And it is already roasting. Now, thankfully, we're still at the little campsite. We leave tomorrow. Thankfully, the temperatures do seem to be dropping just a touch as the week progresses, because obviously we're going to be wilding it up for the next few days. So
I went for a dip yesterday. Had you said about my dip?
I didn't.
Yeah, it was quite cold when you first got in.
And just very quickly, we might be able to start a little mini series or a little mini wager.
You know what I'm going to say.
So if you remember, there was a donkey bite.
So there's loads of big fish. They're about this big, really close into the shore. And I was just in the really shallow bit. And I felt something bite me really hard. And I thought it was like something massive. But these fish, about this big, they bite. And they bite hard.
She's got a little mark on her leg.
And I ended up kicking it, because I obviously freaked out and kicked. I actually kicked the poor fish.
Kick the fish.
But it shouldn't have bitten me. So yeah, beware the bitey fish in Greece.
So that's donkey and fish.
And by the way, if I'm scratching a lot, it's because I've got the worst mozzie bites
Yeah,
ever.
mozzies are out in force.
Yeah, and they're really, really itchy.
Well, let's wander along this coastline for a little bit. It's lovely and sort of a bit cooler and below the shade of the olive trees, but I think we're heading back out into the hot mid-morning sun.
And let's hope I don't get bitten by anything else.
Yeah.
Little side eyes.
Don't let coast path fool you. There's plenty of ups and downs. Be quite a good running, but the place is full of butterflies and giant big green flying beetles that actually remind me of those flesh-eating numbers out of the Mummy movies.
But can you learn to love your weakest side?
Testing out my knee.
Oh yes,
Brace.
his and hers knee supports. Let's go for
I
it.
think it's helping slightly so far. So.
We'll soon find out then. Does it get us to go up hills quicker?
It's a sad life. If the hurt is all in vain, but you
And our idyllic little walk has turned into a bit of a mission. Oh man. Apparently down here somewhere is a very idyllic beach, but access to it, not the easiest. Oh, loads of spiders' webs. Down, 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 down. This looks fun. Geez, I can hear wasps as well. Trying to avoid as many of the spider webs as possible, because I always feel really bad. They spend all night making them, and a big lumbering jalopy like me just walks straight through it. I think it's getting a bit more sketchy down here as well. Oof. Oh, dear me. Oh. We're out of it. My hat is covered in spiders' webs. Oh, God damn it. So is my crotch. Big old boys as well.
I can't believe you left me. I think you were just making a run for it.
I was doing the chivalrous thing and getting rid of all the spiders'
You were
webs.
just running.
Here's the rope to get down. Oh my God. But the beach is right here, so
Oh, is it?
yeah.
Oh, it's just my knee.
Hang on.
Is there any way you can pull the rope towards me?
Just give me a hand. There you go. Just take your time. That's it.
I have to lead with that leg so I can keep it straight. That's it.
Good?
Yep. Oh, having a bad knee is not fun.
But while it may be tiny, it's kind of perfectly formed. Oh.
Not being very elegant.
I think it may be time to go and have a bit of a dip. Well, that was altogether rather nice.
It really was. It's
Really
gorgeous.
refreshing. The only downside is we've just become really nice and refreshed. Now we'll go back through the gauntlet of spiders' webs.
And I'm going first this time because I might need to push up with my knees. So it hurt a little bit. What's that? A bug?
I think it was a spider's bum.
Oh!
Bye bye,
It's
stunning
so
beach.
easy to see that you're in love with.
Yeah, a little bit dodgy access, but absolutely worth it. Ah, Nicola's going first this time. Now that I've cleared all the cobwebs, of course.
It's how you want it to be. You bring me things from.
And we're back out again.
Oh my God. I'm so out of breath. I don't know if you heard. I needed to take deep breaths through my mouth, but I didn't want to open it. So I must have sounded like a wild boar plummeting through the undergrowth there.
Now I have to go and look for sound effects of a wild boar plummeting through the undergrowth. Right, well, we've got about another half an hour walk towards our final destination, where I hear it might be lunchtime.
Mine. If you ever feeling blue, rest assured I've been there too.
So any refreshment we had in the sea has long since gone, and we seem to be back into spiderweb territory. So we're 4 miles into our dander. I think we've another couple of miles to go until our lunch spot. Not too sure how many people have been along here in the last couple of days because spiders' webs everywhere.
You go first. This is hideous.
Yeah. Spiders' webs!
Mission failure.
Schoolboy error. So we know it's still shoulder season here in Greece, and our little taverna that we go and have lunch in isn't open. So it's lunch.
We're never prepared.
And then a 5-mile walk back along the coast with only half a bottle of water.
Oops.
Damn it. You know the way we need to get something in your head as well? Lemon Fanta. That's all I was thinking about, lemon Fanta. Now I've got dried up nuts.
Well, I reckon we should, when we get back, we should go for lunch. Because we kind of promised ourselves.
And we wouldn't like to lie to ourselves because that's just terrible. It's a beautiful view, stunning view. We shall enjoy our meagre supplies of nuts and then a 2-hour walk back. Joy. At which point we'll probably get back just as we're finishing lunch service.
That's probably very true.
Well, goodbye Alex's bar and all the lemon Fantas that you have in there. And hello, back up steep hills. 5 miles, back to base camp.
Feed me, please feed me.
Where we might actually treat ourselves to some lunch if they're still serving lunch. Let's go, we've got this.
We have. I've almost come a cropper twice, literally gone flying. You caught me one time. The other time I just kept running and managed to stay upright.
Yeah,
I'm so tired.
I think we've reached someone's limit. About 9 and a bit miles in.
And it's so hot and we haven't got anywhere near enough water.
Yeah, we ran out of water. We weren't planning on coming this far. And then obviously getting to the restaurant and realising nothing was open was a bit of an issue. That's us back into the shade of the olive grove, past the monastery, and then downhill into our little resort, where hopefully there will be something open.
I'm pretty convinced my Achilles are hurting so much that I actually won't be able to walk tomorrow.
Yeah.
So you might see me hobbling about a bit.
Anyway, probably another 10 minutes or so to go, and then we're there. Oh, cento fanti.
Oh, it better be open.
It better be open.
I'm just going to go in the kitchen and help myself if they're shut.
You heard it here first. Oh dear. Is that the Achilles?
Yeah.
It's difficult to tell because there's so much pain going on. Well, good morning guys. So it's actually been a couple of days since our 10-mile hike, and unfortunately a second lunch fail we went to go in and grab something to eat close to where we were camped up. And I'll tell you what, the prices in Greece, especially in the resorts, I would say not only rivals Italy, but probably exceeds it as well. Club sandwich, about €18. 2 cans of pop, €9. So we took to our heels back to the van and just made ourselves some lunch. And then actually the following day when we were due to leave, we both had quite a lot of work to do. And we just thought, you know what, let's just get all this out of the way before we head off into the wild. So another day just camped out. But we have now left the campsite and we have driven on a couple of hours further south. Stopped off for some lunch yesterday, rather nice picturesque site. And then came across on the Lefkada, and that's €3 each way across the toll bridge, and had our first experience of interesting tiny little Greek villages and Greek roads.
Life is a winding road, no telling where it goes. Driving through days and nights, won't stop for traffic lights. And I really wanna know if
It is, it's like Norway all over again. Is that what we're doing?
even if I'm falling down, I will keep on searching for my highs. You can say I lost my mind, I will keep.
But thankfully, at the end of those little tiny windy roads, we end up somewhere like this. Dead end road. Looks to have been maybe a bit of a resort at one point. Looks like it's all closed up and banged up now, but absolutely beautiful. Now last night whenever we arrived, sun was just setting, lovely light on the cliffs, really, really beautiful. Yeah, we had a little bit of rain yesterday as we were driving along, and I'm not sure whether it was just because it's been so dry here and greasy roads, but we did come across a pretty nasty accident as well, which left things a bit somber. But say we brought ourselves here. We may stay here for the day. It's Good Friday here. Is that what they call it in Greece? I'm not sure. But it's basically their Easter Friday. Now the road to get down here, single track for a lot of the way, pretty sketchy. My concern is that if we don't get out of here early doors, getting back out again, we might be met with a whole throng of traffic coming down. The unfortunate thing is, Nicola's got a pretty horrendous migraine, and this kind of relates to the video that we put out on Thursday relating to fear. She had a pretty bad day yesterday with her anxiety, and that can quite often trigger an overnight migraine, which is what she's dealing with this morning. So hopefully tablets work and she's able to kind of get up and get ready so we can at least make the decision. It would be pretty okay staying here for the day as well. I guess the car park does get pretty busy by the looks of things. We arrived last night, lots of cars, but the only thing that's here now is a couple of campers. Looking on Park for Night, they say that where we're parked is paid for in season. Even though this is Easter, I think in season is maybe from June onwards. So hopefully we don't get a knock at the door later on today to say, you owe us €8, buddy. Because I'll be like, no we don't, we're off. But what a beautiful place, and may even get the old carcass in there later on this morning. We're already seeing one of the biggest challenges that we're going to be faced with, and that's not necessarily filling up with water. Lots of garages allow that, but emptying black waste. We don't use chemicals in our loo, so we don't feel too bad with pouring the pee, the urine, down a regular toilet. But of course someone sees you doing that and they naturally assume this guy's got chemicals in his loo and he's pouring it down. Very few places. There's campsites around, and we might pop into a campsite and see if they charge, but we don't really want to be doing that every day. So this is one of the anxieties that Nicola especially has had in regards to going through Greece, and that's the lack of services, especially from a toilet perspective. But we will live and learn. We're not going to learn these things by staying on campsites, as nice as that campsite was. I'll put the name of it down below here. If you're coming through Greece, and especially if you're coming from the boat from Italy, that's a fantastic campsite to hunker down with for the few days. I think it worked out about £22 a night, including electricity. Really, really worth it. Bit more pricey in the higher season, but maybe it's time to head back to the van, see how Nicola's head is, get a cup of tea, a cup of coffee on, and then make a plan for the day. But this is Lefkada, and this beach, none too shabby.
Floating, weightless, undersea.
So we've driven on, only about 15 minutes into the nearest little village, Valiski. Unfortunately, Nicola's migraine hasn't lifted yet, so she's back in the van having a lie down. And the boat behind me here, it's the little boat that's going to Kefalonia. Looks like there's only one sailing at the moment. But what a beautiful little fishing port, a couple of little restaurants along the edge. And it looks as though there's a couple of big truck campers parked along the way. We've just parked along the harbour wall. But along beside us, a little bit further along, there looks to be a bunch of vans parked up. So just thinking to myself, met a really lovely German couple who were parked down beside us last night, and we were just chatting to the fact that, you know, slow, long-term travel, we might just hunker down here for the day. You know, we might even be able to use some of the facilities kicking around, or we might drive on. Nobody knows. At least nobody knows just yet. But yeah, this is beautiful. We had a bit of a thunderstorm move through just after I had put the drone away. Yes! The man finally used his drone just after I put the drone away. Big old thunderstorm moved through, but it's left a pretty crisp, clear day today. And I did not realise, now this is probably people are probably laughing at me right now, I did not realise that Greece was so mountainous, or at least that Lefkada was so mountainous. It does look as though there's a few hikes around the area as well, but again, our plan, I think, will be mostly determined on Nicola's noggin. But I've got myself a coffee. We are still trying to be good and not eat or drink out during the week. Save a bit of spondos, and I guess we'll catch up later on when we decide what the plan is. Slow travel. You can't beat it. So guys, we have brought ourselves up to Nidri Waterfalls. Now normally, if I'm doing this little intro to something like a waterfalls, you probably can hear the waterfall by that point. As we were walking up, we were thinking, there's something missing. Water, water. Anyone seen the water? The brave explorers on the hunt for water. At least we can start to hear a little bit of water, but as you can see, not a lot of it. Oh, and apologies, I'm wearing my Instagram shoes. Schoolboy error. So guys, this is where you're going to have to use your imagination. If only we could do generative fill. Gesundheit. Yeah, if only there was generative fill, AI style, we could put some gushing water down here. It probably looks pretty spectacular.
Not sure how much further we need to go, really.
No.
And that's me being my goat mentality.
Oh yeah, and where we just parked down there, we parked up where I originally parked up. It was a bit of a slope, so I moved out of the way. Next thing, all these rocks started falling off the cliff above us. A couple of crazy goats up there kicking rocks down.
Yeah, we warned a couple of people who also moved, but yeah there was one about that big came down.
Right, let's see whether we can see something. Obviously not a waterfall, but there you go, guys. Is that a waterfall? Is that what we're calling the waterfall today? Well, there you go, guys. Nidri Waterfall. Kind of glad this wasn't like a 3-hour hike. And you know what one of the funniest things is? What was the main reason for coming to this island?
To Lefkada to see the waterfall. Well, it's there. It's just not very big today.
Story of my life. Well, good morning, guys. So we ended up just staying up near the waterfalls. Little cafe up there as well, and the cafe leaves its toilets open all night, which is quite nice. And we've just done our good deed for the day. In fact, we've been doing our good deed for the last 24 hours, feeding the little stray cats. Looks to be a family of 3, maybe. Quite cool this morning, but a bit of rain. But it's been nice to stay here. Nice and quiet, getting off the coast a little bit. Just a shame that the waterfalls are missing that one key ingredient. We bought a bag of cat food and I think we're going to give the whole bag to this lot. Hello. Hello, darling. we may have to cut out all of our treats and spend all of our money on the stray animals. Right, we've just finished a little bit of work. It's just after 9 a.m. We'll probably get out of here in the next half an hour or so, head back down to the coast. Bit of shopping and bits and pieces to do, but I guess we'll catch up later on today as we continue, finish our exploration of Lefkada. Keflada, Lefkada. I need a second coffee. Well guys, that brings our first week in Greece to an end, and a very enjoyable week it has been as well. Obviously we started off at the campsite, very nice, and then for the last couple of days we've been out and about in the wilds, and Lefkada's been really nice actually.
Yeah, it's been a bit more touristy than I was expecting, because when I read about it, it said it wasn't that touristy and not sort of that popular yet, but I think that's changed.
Yeah, that's changed indeed.
Yeah.
And then we brought ourselves to our little park up tonight where we've just seen some very, very cool windsurfers and kite surfers. Take a look at this.
Apparently as well, you can sometimes see flamingos out here, so I might get my binoculars out and have a quick look, because I can see a couple of white things, but they're too far away to know what they are.
What are flamingos?
Flingos.
Flingos. And of course we fitted in.
That might be a flingo.
And of course we fitted in really, really well down there, especially with our bravery walking across that pretty rickety old bridge.
I'll tell you what, it's one of those things, because you're looking at slat after slat after slat, it makes your eyes go really funny, and it would be quite easy to trip up and fall in. But don't worry, it's not very deep if you do.
Right guys, well we're going to leave things here. If this is what Greece has in store for us, then I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think some of those little mountain villages are going to be quite interesting to drive around, mind you, but...
Slightly disappointed today though, because it's Easter over here and the shops are going to be closed. We went to Lidl's to stock up on 4 days worth of food and meals. I tell you what, it was worse than Christmas in the UK. It was mobbed. Everything had been sold out, so we're really having to compromise on dinners, which, you know, that doesn't make me very happy.
It's going to be a good weekend, I reckon, because everything's closed now for the next couple of days. So
yeah, and weekends are meant to be treat week days, and it's not happened.
oh dear.
Although I did manage to still buy some chocolate, so it's not all bad.
Well, we will pick things up again in our main travel vlogs next Sunday. Obviously, but the 100-day project will carry on as usual. We're going to carry on heading south, exploring more of what Greece has to offer. But I guess, as always, that will be a story for next time. And it's a seagull, by the way.
Oh.
No flamingos here.
Not yet. Still time, still time.
Right guys, well once again, thanks a lot for following along, and until next time somewhere in Greece, take care, bye bye.